So today we're going to talk about solo leveling, the good, the bad, future expectations, and then we'll get into some watch list recommendations, my crunchy list. Enjoy us here with GAG Anime. And we're back. Hey folks, welcome. We are Grown A Geeks. This is GAG Anime. I am your host, Elder Geek Sam. We're going to be talking about some anime. Got my co-host with me today, RG Cashmere. RG, what's going on, man? How you doing?
It's a good day. Good time to discuss some anime with the urban Dalai Lama.
Always a good time to talk about anime.
Yes.
So we are going to be talking today specifically this first show, our inaugural show. We're going to be talking about Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling is perhaps the most anticipated anime of 2024. Every time I turned around, every time I looked up, every time I saw anything online, all I heard, solo leveling's coming. And with Jujutsu Kaisen on hiatus for a little bit, we're still waiting on Demon Slayer to get back, still waiting on Chainsaw Man, My Hero, a lot of good stuff that's out there. Mappa's supposed to be taking over something pretty big here coming up.
They actually just released, I think, this new one called Frieren. I cannot pronounce her name. But I think they just released a new one. It's actually pretty good. Mappa, despite being known so much for their art direction, I got to give them credit with their writing. The writing on this new one that they just did is chef's kiss. I think there's a lot of good anime that we got to look forward to.
Okay, well, Mappa, if Mappa wants to take a little bit of time, take a breather, put some, stretch out the episodes. You could do every other week with Mappa, and because I think people really want the quality to stay up. And if you're pushing them too hard and we don't get good stuff, that's going to be bad. So I would be just as content. Me personally, now I only speak for me because I know there's a lot of people out there. They want their new episode every week. Y'all got some more of that JJK, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's
Gotta give me that new anime, baby.
Gotta get some new anime. But right now, the new anime that everybody's talking about is Solo Leveling. We've got 3 episodes in, new series that just dropped. It's a Crunchyroll exclusive, if I'm not mistaken. So you can only find it on Crunchyroll. Gotta say, I'm 3 episodes in, and I know better than to judge an anime off 3 episodes.
That is true.
I do know better. But having said that, I'm starting to ask myself, how many episodes do I have to wait to feel like this is the anime of the year?
Wait, wow. So you're saying 3 episodes in, that has inspired that thought out of you.
3 episodes in, and it's already making me say, why is everyone saying this is going to be and if it's one of those things where it's like, oh, the good stuff is coming, great. I look forward to it, and I want to see the great stuff. But this, like I said, okay, so here were the things that I did like about the show. I try to stay on the more positive side of things.
Okay.
But we are going to talk about the good. We are going to talk about the bad. And instead of talking about the ugly, we'll talk about expectations. So first off, the good. I do feel like they went through and watched all of the popular anime right now and cherry picked the good pieces of those anime. That's not a bad thing. You're giving me a lot of stuff that feels familiar to me. It was okay. So you start off, we're in a world where some people have special abilities, and as a result, they can do certain work. It's giving me My Hero. I'm getting My Hero Academia vibes from that. I'm giving, like everyone has a quirk, but some people are quirkless. And then when you go down to some other popular anime, like you take something like we're dungeon crawling and we're taking on these demons. So Demon Slayer, anybody who's ever played a tabletop RPG is going to love it right off the bat. And then even shows akin to, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon?
I I thought you were going to relate it to that more.
Exactly, because like here we go. You've got, my man has nothing but a knife and he's got to get in there and do the job. Other people come in here with like big magic swords. He got a knife. I'm like, bruh, stop. We're also getting a little bit more from My Hero and Demon Slayer with a main character who has to rely on his wit and his intellect because he's not the strongest. And so, okay, I like a smart guy. You know what I'm saying? You want to see someone smart because like strong man punch hard is fun,
right?
But that can be boring also.
That is true.
You end up like you everybody don't need to be go. If I don't get some people thinking about how to win, I need some strategy. I need some
a good old power fantasy thing.
Exactly. So I think they went in and they took all the stuff that was good about other animes and they kind of varied it. It was like anything that was fantasy, sword and sorcery, had demons in some capacity.
Okay.
Got cherry picked for it because fast forwarding a little bit, when you get to our character's awakening, upon his awakening, he now has access to a menu that other people don't have access to.
Okay.
So that time I was reincarnated as a slum.
Gotcha. Okay.
Predator skill where he can pick up different abilities and things. And, so it's again, these were all things I liked about the other shows and all of that wrapped up into a single show is not bad.
Okay.
Those were the things that I found to be positives. So you've seen the first 3 episodes. Do you have any positive feedback on the first 3 episodes?
I do. And I feel so I'm going to be one of those anime elitist type people because I also read the web novel. So this came out. That's why I really appreciate your take on it regarding feeling about it adopting the best parts of other animes, because this was written, the web novel was written quite a few years ago. I would say, like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And one of the things is that this so far that I've noticed from these early episodes is that it's almost panel for panel to the manga.
Okay.
Like it is panel for panel. They didn't change a lot about it. I remember initially there was a little bit of controversy about who was going to do it because it's a Korean manga. And so it's being done by Japanese artists. There was a bit of discussion about like the names and things like that. And they felt like initially it may take away from some of the original fan base's appreciation for the anime because, we know them by their Korean names and things like that. But I don't feel it makes a difference. It's literally panel for panel. I think the one thing that I really appreciate about it is the art style is it is on point. It is classic, excellent Nappa, like attention to detail. Everything is super flashy. It is well done. It is not too jump cutty, with
right.
And a lot of flash and shock and awe. It showed it's going to be, we're going to be in for some gruesome shots. So it's going to be for the squeamish. They already showed that in the first couple episodes. So I think that's one thing where, they're kind of setting this, they set the tone very well. First episode, you get this is obviously another one of these chosen one type animes where you're the guy, you're special. So
now, what I thought was very interesting is even though it does have you're the chosen one, it feels like anybody could have been the chosen.
Yes.
When we see again, since our main character is someone who's thinking, Jin Woo actually accidentally became the chosen.
True.
Because it makes me wonder, one of the episodes references it's like a game, and I think that might have even been the title of the episode. It's like a game, and basically there's the puzzle that comes with the big statue, and that was memed up, and I saw that before I even knew what it was from, and then I saw it, I was like, hey, that's where that smile comes from.
I recognize that.
Okay, so anytime you see that big evil toothy grin now, I don't immediately know where that is.
I remember.
Exactly. And so having seen that portion that's, it's like a game, we get the statue, we get the puzzles, the 3 lines that get read. It's like, worship your God,
the commandments,
God, and then
praise God.
praise. So we get
Or
to
is
the
it your
end,
faith?
and basically it seems like if everybody had just trusted him, we see that the blue flames were going out, and time would have run out. Would everyone have gotten that?
Right. If anyone wound up in his situation, could
Right. And
that
see, the
have
thing
been?
is, ultimately, it was literally just a matter of like, that's when you like save or you quit the game right before you die. So, it's like, you pause it right before you die so you can take that last health potion.
Mhm.
And we get to see that he had the menu option popped up, and it was like, would you like to I forget what the actual thing said, but it was basically saying like, do you want to continue? And so he chooses, yes, because if not, he's gonna die. And my man, he earned whatever he gets because he was catching it right.
Oh
And
yeah.
they was laying into them. Statues had no love.
Oh
They
yeah.
was just laying into him.
It was a
And
beatdown. It was
it was a
beatdown.
one-sided beatdown.
Yeah.
And of course, like he sacrificed himself for the cute girl, like because she got scared, and of course the other guy who probably like the only person who's ever been nice to him, he's like, look, I'm a low-ranking E. She's a healer. You're the team captain. You guys get out of here. It'll be fine.
Hit them with you should just go out without me. I
Right.
will only be a burden to you.
All right, man. Good luck. We out.
appreciate
You know what I'm saying? And they like
it.
dip. I was like, wow, they really left, bro. Like,
Well, he did not. He had to knock her out. He did have to.
oh no, she was like, no, we can't. And she was slumped quick. So
They
that was
got no
actually
vote
kinda
on
funny.
this. This is a Japanese anime.
Right. It's just like, hey. So anybody who would act like if the entire group had stayed, I wonder would the entire group have gotten this new ability, this new power up, this upgrade, if you will.
That's a great question.
And they said something at the beginning that whatever rank you are, that's where you at. If this, like in this world, the concept of working out, and this didn't kick in until I was watching the third episode. If you are an E-ranked adventurer, like my man Jim Woo was, if you're an E-ranked adventurer, and say he had never gotten this new power, but he just decided, I'm gonna hit the gym, I'm gonna do my thing, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups, hit the weights. If he had just done that on his own and strengthened his body, let's go with Asta, Black Clover. I ain't got no magic, but I'm stronger than everybody around.
There you go.
If he had gone that route and decided to just strengthen himself without the daily requirements that are now popping up in his HUD, would he still always be an E-rank adventurer? If we go all the way back, there was an Xbox game called Fable. Fable was fantastic.
I remember this.
When your character got stronger, your character was bigger. If you ate too many pies, your character started getting a little round.
Okay.
If you was eating crunchy chickens and carrots, your character would start to slim out and straighten out and become more muscular in physique and whatnot. And if you didn't eat or didn't use those things, you just like did mana potions and stuff like that, your character would be thin. So this is going to be a situation where our character, we see now he's running, he's doing his push-ups every day, things like that. But bruh's always going to be this little thin, skinny dude. But now he's going to be, punching meteors out of the sky and stuff. And it's going to I don't want to get taken out by it. If I don't see the character growth physically, sometimes it's distracting.
Right. Now, I will say this, because the one thing that I kind of appreciate and is refreshing about this anime is that it's a power fantasy anime without it being a universal power fantasy anime. Because generally in those cases, there's always this sort of, I have a team and we all do this, and then everybody finds their magic emotional reason where all of a sudden now I can remember why I was getting strong and now I develop a new power. See, no,
Power of friendship.
There you go. Like I feel like this is the type of anime for that, because you establish the rule early. Okay, you are what you are. No amount of gym, no amount of breaking rocks, no amount of learning new fire spells, not going to help it. You're a classy. And so they govern the world, right? The world is based on somehow they're able to read what these gates are going to be and how strong. So it's like, hey, buddy, this is not for you. This is not for you. But what I hate is that because I've read the manga, I understand the payoff is fantastic.
Gotcha.
And I look forward to the payoff, but I like like that's one of the things that it's refreshing to hear your perspective, because now I'm looking at it through fresh eyes, right? I'm
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm reading it all over again, and hearing you look at it from that perspective, it's like,
Okay.
like, but
and you know what? And honestly, that's equally good for me, because I don't want to get 7-8 episodes invested and that always be a distraction. As long as there's something that makes it make sense, then I'm okay with it. For the 3 episodes that we've had so far, it's a little irksome. And I can't even say it's a bad thing. And it's not the fault of the anime. It's a new series. It just premiered. We're only 3 episodes in. Now that I've like wet my whistle on so much good anime recently, but it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to bash it and say that it's slow. There has been sufficient action.
Okay.
But we're looking at a E-class hero going up against an S-tier question mark, because we don't really
we haven't established S-tier powers yet.
Right. Like, we don't know what level the statue god was, because they thought that was a D-tier dungeon.
Right.
There was absolutely no reason that they should have been going up against something like that they went up against. I mean, the scene where my man gets vaporized and all this left of the feet, like, oh.
Yeah.
That, like, okay, now we getting into some stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. They set the stakes high quickly.
And, you know, okay, cool. I'm just coming off of a 1-month complete watch of Attack on Titan. They gave me something in the first episode. They went hard in the second episode. In the third episode, we kind of got back to world. And okay, that's fair. I'm not upset about that. But if you're gonna do that and we're gonna have his inner monologue going, I almost wanted it to be yup, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got it. You know, like, I need to see him like dual wielding huge katanas, like taking out 500 enemies at a time. Like, I needed to see some Dynasty Warriors type action, where just like hordes of enemies are getting cut in half, and him asking himself, how did it come to this? And then everything else in the season be a flashback, and we see how he got to that point. Give me something, because watching this little E-class hero who's now not struggling with goblins,
right?
And maybe he's gonna be able to take out this wolf, you know?
Right.
And it's like, I can appreciate the growth.
Okay,
but give me the action.
I got you. You were spoiled. You were spoiled, and the co-star.
I will admit, everything they've done has been excellent in terms of the world building, in terms of giving us what is going on, how these things happen, and what they have to do about it. All of that's really good. But even like a better example of like A-class hero or an S-class hero, they had the one little girl like pop in to stop a purse snatcher.
Right.
That's a high tier hero. Okay, what, she can jump?
Right.
I don't get what that means.
It's not a showcase of skill yet.
Right. Like, I needed somebody to like save 1 or 2 people in that dungeon.
Yeah. And I don't think this is that type of show. That's the thing. This is the type that I'm not going to say this is a slow burn, but keep in mind, this is coming from a web novel with over 200 chapters. This is not necessarily a One Piece. It is not necessarily a Naruto or a Bleach, but it is a good number of episodes. I would say relate this more to an Avatar, right? This is more like a Last Airbender. The stakes get incredible. I think the stakes are going to get incredibly high, and I think that you have to get drawn in a little bit so that we get the character development. The whole part, it's solo leveling, so it's him being the only one, and that is how did One Punch Man become One Punch Man? Right? I think that's the whole premise of it. How did One Punch Man become one? If you could really see his trials and tribulations, what happens is everything is going from E to D to C to B to A to S, because that's eventually where it's going to go, right? We can, without even having read anything, eventually this dude's going to be like,
if you see any cover art for this at all, I've seen like there's a whole Jekyll and Hyde image floating around out there. There's this one where he looks like, actually, you know what? And again, he's got the demon curse mark happening on half his body. You know what I'm saying? Black Clover, Demon Slayer, Naruto, take your pick. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Seven
And
deadly sins. We got
like I
it all in
said,
here. It's your conglomeration.
take all of the good parts of all of the good anime and just sprinkle it in.
It's
And that's
fan
not a bad
fiction done right. It's fan fiction.
that is the solo leveling fan fiction done right. And that's beautiful. That is the excellent summary. Expectations. I would say for me, my expectations are I know already as an elder geek, I've consumed a lot of content in my time, be it comics, other anime that I've watched. God knows how many movies. I don't know how many TV shows. I know the hero's journey. I know the call to action. I know like he's gonna like doubt himself and turn away, but then he has to come back. I know how the story goes. For me, it is all about the journey.
Yes.
And so I appreciated seeing him fight against these goblins. And even though he now has a 25 strength, I just kind of wanted to see it reflected that he has a 25 strength.
3 episodes in, my friend.
My man started with an 11, though.
3 episodes in, my friend.
So my expectation is you have to show me more of these S-class heroes. You have to show me these S-class villains so that I can get an understanding of the power scaling and the difference in power. The sooner they do that, the better I think a lot of viewers will be.
I'm going to say yes and no. I feel like sometimes the instant gratification can sometimes take away from the character development. I am okay with
it
the
doesn't have to be
development.
Jinwoo.
Right.
It doesn't have to be Jinwoo. I just need to see an S-class hero do S-class shit.
No. What I'm saying is that I agree. Yeah, right. We need to establish what these ranks are. Right. I need to know what can a D class do that an E class can't do, C class, and so forth, and things like that. And I think we will get that. I'm hoping we better get that.
Right.
But
that's my expectation. We just have to get that a little sooner.
Yeah. I agree. I have no other further expectations outside of keep the character development good. I want to know his struggles. I am completely fine with a series focusing on one character and it being about that one character, and I can dig into him. I can become emotionally invested in his journey. I can root for the hero. I can root for those around him. Any ancillary characters should contribute to his growth, or at least contribute to furthering the point of the story or establishing the world better, and I'm all for it. So I'm rooting for it.
What genre is this primarily? Because to me, I was also I get the action, I get the fantasy, I definitely get the dungeon crawler, the RPG elements. I'm also getting a little bit of isekai.
Okay.
And just about every other transported to another world, you got to die first.
Right, yes.
It's a weird reincarnation exchange.
Yes.
But as part of the reincarnation, you now have these powers and abilities that wouldn't have been granted to you otherwise.
I could dig that. And that probably goes to a lot of the Asian religion, Shintoism.
Yeah, I mean,
so,
definitely the entire concept of reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? And it's usually, in many cases, it's always like that last moment before they bite it, they're doing some good act.
Yeah.
And as the reward for that selfless act, hell, we
You're
just
OP.
watched Yu Yu Hakusho. My man was a dirtball, but we can't let that kid get hurt, so he jumps out, saves the kid. And
I'm taking it. I'm accepting it. So I'm not. I don't have that complaint. I am completely a resurrection guy. I like the isekai. I think it's definitely adventure. Yeah, everything that you mentioned, all those genres that you mentioned, I feel it falls into. I can't really see any new or different. It's adventure.
I mean, you've already summarized this. Fan fiction done right. So, Any other points you want to make before we get into our last section?
I just got to say that so far, as long as everything is staying on the same path with the same high level of attention to detail, the high level of artistry that they're doing, as long as it stays true to that, I'm looking forward to a good show, because so far I am sucked in and want to see him become an S-class. I want to see the journey. Journey.
Like, don't think for a moment I'm a hater. I'm not.
That's my job.
Yeah, like I want Jinwoo to succeed. I'm looking forward to seeing him succeed. I want him to get the cute little healer girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, but she was already trying to go out with him. So
there's got to be some shared ramen involved in this situation.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like they got to both pick up that one noodle and keep eating till they meet. That kind of
Oh
thing.
God, that would be fan fiction perfection right there.
that'd be over the top. Let's see. But as we're talking about fans, as I am a fan of anime, I've been trying to dive a little deeper and put a little bit more emphasis and focus on watching my anime. I have created a couple of playlists based on the stuff that I've recently watched. And since there's that little bit of drought where I have to go for some period until a lot of the shows that I was watching come back, I figured this would be a great time for me to go back, catch up on some stuff. And the first thing I did was somebody was like, "Oh my God, have you not seen Attack on Titan?" Like I said, I took a month. I honestly think I got through the entire series, Attack on Titan, in like 3 weeks.
Wow.
All jokes. I mean, when I tell you it was like 6, 7 episodes a day, consistent, like every time I sat down, and I wasn't watching anything else, wasn't doing anything else. Let me compile a list of new stuff, good stuff, maybe some stuff I can kind of breeze through, get through in a weekend if I got some time, like, hey, kill some time this way.
Drum roll. We need a drum roll.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Starting
Number
off with
one. Oh, we
Night.
start with number 5. That's
Okay.
where we go.
Well, actually, you know what? I'll say these are in no specific order.
All right, there we go.
No specific order. The very first one that was recommended to me as a result of how much I enjoyed Attack on Titan, Knights of Sidonia. Knights on Sidonia it falls under a couple of different categories, in my opinion. It's definitely giving Mech Warrior. It's giving some alien threat. There's some definite weird sciencey stuff happening in the background. It's 1,000 years after the war with the Ghana. That's the name of these aliens. A small remnant of humanity. They're on this seed ship. It's basically this random ship out in space that's carrying the last people who survived the Great War. These people are looking for a planet that they can inhabit, and all along the way, they're constantly being attacked and fighting against the Ghana. There's some really cool stuff that happens in this show. I am in season 2 already. I am let's see, where are we? We are season 2, episode 5. And currently there is only 2 seasons and there's 12 episodes. So I am halfway through the second season. This was a good, like, okay, gotta watch this next episode. I gotta know what's happening here. It is dubbed. Great. I can watch the action, hear what's going on.
Do your laundry.
Right. I could be right there with it. Knights of Sidonia. That's going to be the first one that comes up for me.
Okay.
The Unwanted Undead Adventure. Rent Fauna has hunted monsters for the last 10 years. Sadly, he's not great at his job. He's stuck hunting slimes and goblins for a few coins each day. His luck turns when he finds an undiscovered path. At the path's end, he meets his demise in the maw of a legendary dragon. But he wakes up as an undead bag of bones. He sets out to achieve existential evolution and rejoin the land of the living.
Wow.
It's giving me isekai. It's giving me reincarnation. This is like I was reincarnated as a skeleton.
That's exactly what I thought the title of it was going to be.
That's what this should be called. I was reincarnated as a skeleton warrior. Okay. This is called The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. Now, stop. I know what you people are thinking. Don't. This is not that, okay? If you know, you know. If you don't, I'm not explaining. But the name of this is called The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic. It says, an ordinary walk home from school turns into an epic journey for Usatu. After suddenly being dropped into another world with 2 fellow students, I got to thank Fizz Case. They're my favorite series. Usato learns he was summoned there by accident, but things turn around when he discovers a unique aptitude for healing magic. Now he trains beyond human limitations, using his self-healing abilities to gain absurd strength and unrivaled stamina. That description made me a little itchy because it made me think of the other healing. Anyway.
Sounds familiar.
Anyway.
I'm just going to say, Sam, sounds familiar.
But oddly enough, now here's the funny part about this, and I'm not saying that people are weird, but average rating 4.9, 11,000 reviews. Why did everybody come to The Wrong Way to Use Healing Magic, you deviants?
Wrong. You looked in the wrong section. You thought you were coming to a
Thought you
hentai
were getting
movie.
season 2. I know what you was looking for. I know what you was looking for.
That's not it. I like your choices, Sam. I like your choices. Well, allow me to retort.
Please do, please do. And I will add these to my other
Yes.
crunchy
Yes.
list
Yes.
called
So
RG Recommends.
mess with your boy, the Urban Dalai Lama, baby.
There you go.
So I think the first one I want to recommend to everyone is, I don't know whether or not it's known or unknown, but it is called Akame ga Kill. It is, to me, a lot of other anime fans that I know have personally not watched it. I think it's very overlooked. It's highly overlooked. I tend to like animes where there is the story coincides and matches the action, that there are varying powers being displayed. This is one of those that is very similar to me to Sword Art Online, and it's not an isekai. It's another world, but the power levels of everyone involved is incredibly realistic. There are no super OP people. It focuses on teamwork and the team. The character development of the team is incredible. The main protagonist, I will say that it ends with a very nice surprise. The payoff is a jaw dropper, and it has moments of emotion. Like, there were definitely times where I was like, oh snap. There were a lot of oh snap moments. So I definitely recommend Akame ga Kill. Should be on Netflix. If it's not on Crunchyroll, there are a lot of streaming services that offer it.
Okay.
So the second one that I will recommend is actually a new one that is on Crunchyroll, and I am going to mispronounce this name because it sucks, because it's kind of German sounding. Frierden Beyond Journey's End. I am going to tell you, this is not heavy on the action. It is about a mage who has lived for over 1,000 years, and she's kind of emotionless, cold. But she did travel with like a band of other travelers. It's, the whole, here's the party, and they had some adventures, but she's kind of going through an existential crisis because she lives much longer than everybody else. She outlives everyone she cares about, and this was one of the first times she allowed herself to care about her team members. And so it kind of hooks you in on her growth as an individual, as she learns to begin to develop feelings and kind of goes on this wish fulfillment journey with her new party. I think it will suck some people in. If you really like a good story, it's a great main character. The side characters are great. The dialogue is perfectly written. I mean, it is very excellent dialogue, which anime like that needs, for the fact that there's not a ton of fights. You're not going to get a lot of flash and swords and a lot of displays of powers. But when you get them, yeah, you get them. And it's you're like, whoa. So, and then the last one I'm going to recommend for everyone is Mob Psycho 100. If you haven't watched that, if you're just getting into anime, this is for all the grown asses who are trying to get into something and just starting their anime journey and need to know what to check out. Mob Psycho 100 is without question something that I consider a must watch. The anime style sometimes can look somewhat amateuristic. It can look incredibly old school, but when the fights commence, they commence. The turn on and the turn up is real. When it gets on, it gets on. I like the progression of the story. It literally, the 100 comes from the main character getting to use 100% of his power. They established this in the first episode, so I'm not giving you any spoilers. And as you watch him display these smaller percentages, you definitely will be looking forward to him getting to 100%. It is on and popping. The artwork, the fights are definitely reminiscent of, I'd say they were on level with Jujutsu Kaisen final boss type fights. They are that good. The artwork is that good. So Mob Psycho 100, those is Cash's 3 recommendations. Enjoy. You can thank me later.
All right. Well, there we go. That is I'm kind of curious about the Frerin Beyond Journey's End. The idea that she, as an elf, outlives humans, the party, and then has to. Okay, I can dig Highlander-ish. Okay,
Yeah, yeah. That's a
I'm
very good.
look. I'm with it. I'm curious. I could see how that could take a toll where she just doesn't get attached to anybody because, like, you're human. You're gonna die. You're like a pet, and
Yeah,
I could
but it's
see.
definitely it's not that grim though. It's definitely not that grim. It is actually a pretty optimistic story.
Cool.
But the dialogue is written so well that it sucks you in. You never feel like it's corny. You never feel like anything is forced. Everything happens very naturally. The her growth process is very esoteric. It just happens as a natural part of the story. None of the plot seems forced. The stakes for the other characters is real, but the story sucks you in. And I feel like it's one of those things that, if you're into great writing, this is great writing. This is not the normal corny, this is gonna predictable way of things going, even though it is a little bit predictable. But I mean, it's I think people will like it.
You know what? It got my attention. It got your recommendation. Also, average rating 4.9, 63,000 reviews. So probably not a new one. Plenty of time for people to have checked it out. So I am looking forward to seeing that myself. That looks like that could be pretty interesting. Good deal. Well, hey, it's got my attention. I want to check it out. I'm looking forward to it. Watch list to work on here. So I've got a new weekly watch list and I've got some backlog watch because Lord knows can't stop adding to the backlog.
When you're elder, that's what happens.
You can't stop adding to the backlog. What?
Just keep getting new stuff. Hey man,
exactly. You got to add to the backlog. So we're definitely looking forward to checking some of that stuff out. Well, but hey, in the meantime, go ahead and click that QR code right above RG there and check us out everywhere you see Grown A Geeks. You can join the group that we're in. We're both members there, and we share a lot of content. We have discussions. A lot of cool stuff happens there. We also ask that you like, subscribe, and follow the YouTube channel where you can find this content. Smash that like button, come back, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you'll know every time we have new series, new episodes popping up. Join us for our live show, Weigh In Wednesday with Grown A Geeks, and this live show that we do. So come be a part of that, and expect to start seeing RG on some of those live episodes as well. So when we get in there, like to have him and Hatman get together and talk some anime. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure. RG, we will get together real soon, man. Viewer, listener, we appreciate you being here, and join us on our next episode where we will be back to talk more anime. But for now, you guys have a great rest of your day. We are out of here. Peace.